Now to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where elections are underway and more than 40 million people are expected to cast their votes. The election pits the president, Felix Tshisekedi, against 18 challengers. He's hoping to win a second term and is considered the front-runner. Voting has been disrupted by lengthy delays in some centres and civil conflict in the east. There have also been allegations of fraud, violence and logistical setbacks.
Congolese voters, eager to cast their ballots, grow impatient after hours of waiting. Similar scenes are spotted at several other centres across the country.
We've been here since 5 a.m., but so far nothing has started. We don't understand. We're waiting for them. We're not leaving until they start.
Voters blame the chaos on delays in opening polls, while stations reported a lack of ballots right before election day. Others say they were surprised to find their names missing from voter lists.
I came very early in the morning because I wanted to know which office I was going to vote in. I looked for my name, but so far I haven't found it.
The election chaos is being compounded by fighting in Congo's east, which has prevented 1.5 million people from registering to vote there. There were quite a few people who didn't end up on the lists. We, the observers, can see that the organisation was not good in this respect. People are wondering how they are going to vote if they can't find their way around. Yet they also have the right to do their duty and vote. The official Electoral Commission said polling stations would remain open to voters who are still in line by the 5 p.m. deadline. Many fear the vote counting will also face delays.
DW correspondent Jonas Gerding sent this update from a polling station in Kinshasa.
We are in one of the voting stations in the capital of the Congo, in Kinshasa. This is the end of the presidential campaign, where incumbent President Felix Tshisekedi is most likely to be re-elected, but of course the result needs yet to be seen. And this has been a voting station. We have already been in the morning, around 8 o'clock, when voting material arrived very late. Finally, at 2 p.m., people were able to cast their votes. And this is a quite representative picture of what's happening in the country on this day. The voting process is quite chaotic, but it also needs to be acknowledged that there hasn't been any widespread violence today. There have been some cases where voting stations have been ransacked, and it also needs to be said that conflict plays a role because of the war in the east, the ongoing war. This means that around 1.5 million people, they couldn't register, so they weren't even be able to cast their votes. And we can now see that people are still standing here in lines, and this will take still a lot of time. The head of the Electoral Commission allowed people to vote even longer, even though this normally is not foreseen. Let's see whether this will increase credibility of the elections, and of course, all of this will also depend on the questions whether the final results will be manipulated or not.